think as a team, because I don't know, maybe as a team it took too long to see what's going on with Ben White. I just think we ended up a bit cold. West Ham grew into the game. Second half was a bit of a drag. Obviously, there were some heartbreaking moments temporarily. You know, it's football saw the drama in the best of days, much less when Trossard slaps it in, then they make it 1-1, then it's VAR, man. So, yeah. Man, if this is how Benny ends his time at Arsenal, thank you for everything and giving 8 out of 10 during those 2 years with an injury as well. Spartan, man. Whoever is going to play right back in the final has to play the 2 remaining games to need sharpness against Kvaratskhelia. I forgot about Norgard when we're using him. But that's, yeah. I mean, you're going to be on the bench for the Champions League. I'd imagine you're going to be on the bench against Burnley because there's a spot there in it with no Benjamin White. But yeah, it's dark, man. It's dark, man. Please, Rice needs to be in midfield because that midfield becomes non-existent out of possession when teams counter us. Tell them again, bro. Tell them again. Ben White out of Arsenal's Champions League final with knee injury set to wreck World Cup hopes. Arsenal have been handed an injury nightmare with Ben White out of their Champions League final clash with PSG. We've got to remember, Calafiori come off injured. Or that's at least what we was told, innit? And this is why I'm so big on midfield, because if we had a midfielder, like, I'm just saying random names, like a Gomares, like a Tonali, like someone, it's neither here nor there whether you think Rice is better than them or they're better than Rice or whatever, but just in terms of a top caliber engine in that room, yeah, this is all ideal hypotheticals. But if we had that in the squad, Declan Rice goes to right back, I think we can get away with it, kind of needs must, innit? So it is what it is. Sunsport understands White is also a major World Cup doubt for this summer after suffering a suspected MCL injury. Ben White, 28, left the London Stadium with a knee brace on Sunday after Arsenal's 1-0 win against West Ham. He was forced off in the first half following a collision with Somerville. Mikel Arteta now faces a huge selection dilemma with first choice right back Timber still missing with injury too. And do you know what's annoying? Yeah, because I do think White's been a bit off it for whatever reason. Some his own fault, some obviously with what we've just been discussing. But I do feel the last couple of games, like with everybody in our team, but focusing on Ben White, he looked, I won't quite say he looks like the Ben White of old, but he was looking calm. He was moving good. He looked like he's got up to speed, and then such is life, innit? There you have it. But I've been saying Mascara right back experiment. Admittedly, I didn't want to see it at this point this season. It is what it is, man. So, yeah, we know he started all our last 5 games, including both legs against Atletico. He's had knee issues in recent years. Mascara now looks like the likely option. We did see Declan Rice play fullback, in which Arteta, in the last 5 or so games, you've done things differently. You kind of reverted back to the overthinking galaxy brain stuff with Rice going to right back, and then you patterned it up quick. So, yeah, man, maybe Mascara is the best option. Maybe we don't need to overthink this. When we've got, but don't get twisted, when we've got bare possession, like respectfully, because I'm trying to be so humble about Burnley, but the Burnley game, as much as for me, Mascara goes right back, I would understand Rice right back or whatever have you, because we have seen that. We've done that at right back with midfielders. We see that at Liverpool. We see it with Núñez. I don't mind a midfielder playing right back going into midfield, but you see when it's a bit even and it becomes football in the best of days in the Premier League is a chess match, right? You see when it moves away from being a chess match and it's just end-to-end basketball, I'm a bit nervous. Earlier this year, Ben White returned to the England squad for the first time. He also scored as well. So, yeah, he'll be a miss, people. Arsenal have also posted on their official website, further to Sunday's match at West Ham United, subsequent assessments and specialist reviews have confirmed that Ben White has sustained a significant medial knee ligament injury, which will rule him out for the remainder of the season. Our medical team are now managing Ben White's recovery and rehabilitation program, with everyone fully focused on supporting the aim of Ben being ready for the start of our pre-season preparations. So, yeah, that's the aim. It could be worse. It could be better. That just tells you, yeah, this season's a write-off. You're probably not going to be moved on, to which, I mean, if we had Reece Nelson, he can play right back. Berta, first name's out of there. Gabriel Jesus. He's not even in the match they scored against West Ham. He's one of our highest earners. Reece Nelson is still here. Fabio Vieira is still here. This probably, in my opinion, in fact, stranger things have happened. I don't think we get another defensive option. We might. Stranger things have happened. You know, you could argue we need to get defensive reinforcements anyways. You could argue a Timber, Tomiyasu kind of comfortable on both sides. But this might have, I guess, changed what we're doing. You could argue we might even go for a left back. Calafiori and Hincapié pick up a lot of knocks. I hope Miles Lewis-Skelly is seen as a starting midfielder. See where I'm going with it. Martinelli right back. In terms of what he's going to give you, then yeah, but is he going to be disciplined? Man said Gunnosaurus right back. Get well soon, Ben. Big up DG, big up to the community. Right back at you. 2 more finals. I'm just praying we win these 2 games. Zubamendi needs our support. Confidence is going to be bad. Guy is better when he's advanced rather than playing in a double pivot. Let Rice just do what he's best at. Listen, I'm Zubamendi FC. He was great in the first half of the season. You've lost your form. I don't know if it's personal off the field business. It's just poor form and you're doubting yourself and things like that. Deserves all our support. We support you. Unfortunately, though, when I remove emotion, we ain't got time to carry people. The team is picking it, so we ain't got time to carry people. You know, Zubamendi, in my opinion, could have been hooked at half-time. Probably shouldn't have come off the bench because we tried to do the right thing. We can't carry people. Like, at this moment in time, the ones that are in a good moment, they need to play. Zubamendi will see a better you. I've got no doubt. Form is temporary, class is permanent, innit? Maybe he's played too many games. But even, I think it is confidence because there was one moment, I think, just before he got subbed, we could have had a promising counter-attack. I'm sure can't remember who he's tried to find, but he tried to play a pass to the right-hand side. It's gone off the pitch. So when your confidence is on the floor, it's shot. But Lewis Kelly is the best option right now, as is Declan Rice. They give us something different. You know, for me, Miles Lewis Kelly always wants to play forward. I think he's more aggressive when we press. I've got more time for it, people. There was, you know, what was it against Atletico in the first leg? You're all right. Zubamendi further forward, Rice in the 6. We was kind of living. I'm sorry, but Calafiori can't start against PSG. Doué will eat him alive. Can't lie. It's a Hincapié thing for me. Don't forget, right back is going to be handled by whoever is there, plus Saka to come back and cover. I think Mosquera can handle it. Jesus, right back. He can't score anyways. I think Arteta will start Zubi against Burnley. Unpopular opinion, but Ben White is overhyped defensively. A good player for sure, but Timber is better defensively and offensively. Offensively, I'm not sure. Because I do think the limitations in Benjamin White's attacking game, he gets more out of Timber. For me, Timber's just more of a full package. I do think Ben White is this. I think Ben White's okay defensively. Sometimes I think he switches off 1v1. I think he's a great right back. I think he's an average centre half. I've never thought he'll end up centre half as his career is winding down, and he can play there. And he probably play there for England if they play a back 3. But I've never quite subscribed to him as a centre half. There's no doubt, like, let's be honest. I know him moving to right back has coincided with us going from the rebuild to getting in title shouts and whatnot. His best performances have been at fullback. Timber better at everything else. Yeah, Timber's not better offensively. Me, I just want both of them fit. We ran them both into the ground, didn't it? Both of them have had to work overtime. I'll always admire Ben White. But yeah, man. Always got time, patience, and love for the Halen boys. Tell them again, man. Zubi was trying to play a pass to Eze. There you have it when we had a transition developing, but played the ball. I play. Confidence is shot, bro. I've got no doubts about Zubamendi. But this is why man need Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Miles Lewis Kelly. Just bring me one more midfielder. And I'm not saying that's 4 things I want to maneuver with, innit? I'm not saying I subscribe to this, but then if you've got 4 genuine centre mid options, don't care if it's 8s and 6s and double pivots, people that are likely to play there. And we all know we're looking at 50 plus games throughout a season. Man are going to get injured. I'm not saying I want this to be a case, but you do have the Kai Havertz's, the Marinos that can play in midfield. You can do little cute and clever things with a Wanyeri if he stays. More likely to be the Ezes and Odegaards. I do think we need 4 genuine centre mid options. I know Norgard's here, but let's cut the crap. Clearly not rated. Zubamendi and Rice have been played forever. Lewis Kelly, who's been a peripheral figure, has got an option there. Maybe it's a thing where when I say don't rate, it doesn't mean I think Arteta thinks he's shit. He could think he's shit. He could think, he's not quite the player I want. He either thinks you can't do what I need you to do on a pitch better than them or to a suitable level, or I just think these are better options to start or better options off the pitch. That's where it's at with Norgard, really, to the point where I did think Norgard was going to feature a lot more than he did, especially because he was playing week in, week out for Brentford. It just tells me once Thomas parted, that new contract thing wasn't happening. We already knew our plans that we wanted to do. We didn't want to create kind of more homework. Norgard's got 2 years left on his deal. Respectfully to Brentford, Arsenal's a sweet gig at this moment in time in his career. It's going to happen. I've said this from August, actually. I said, watch, Kepa and Norgard are going to leave. Norgard's actually retired from international football as well, man. Yeah, DG, I feel we put that right back signing in the back burner. If White is gone until Jan 2027, get me the off, please. We'll have to see, man. And that's the thing. Like, you look for our defense, bro, man, pick up injuries. Like, a lot of them pick up injuries. Saliba, Gabriel, it's more wear and tear. Gabriel's had the hamstring thing. Saliba's every now and again, it's that ankle. Calafiori's always going to get injured. Hincapié's had some knocks. Benjamin White and Timber were discussing it. You get where I'm going, innit? This is why I subscribe to the feeling you can't have too many players. At the start of the season, and I know people are injured, but at the start of the season and towards the end of the season, when everybody's quote-unquote making sure we're smashing the like button, coming back into fitness. Then you can have those conversations about, oh, who's in the match day squad, his days are numbered. But you see, when the season's in the thick of it, you can see how it plays out. You can see how it plays out. Like, who's really been ever present in our match day squads? Probably Miles Lewis-Skelly, obviously Raya. There's obviously some players who have played more than others, but you're more at Arsenal, you're better off thinking about who hasn't been injured rather than who has been injured. Because who has been injured, well, the list goes on. Everybody's picked up some level of a knock in it. So, yeah, Quinton Timber could fill in at right back and send you into Marseille for rehab to it up. I don't know about that, my guy, but yeah, don't know. I think Mascara's done okay attacking wise at right back, especially last game. People forgetting it's his first season. It's just a bit too basic with him. Like, he looks like a centre half playing right back, but for me, that's a good education for Mascara. You know, that it's a good education to play right back. It gives us another option. Selfishly, it gives you game time because, yeah, as much as we'd like to rotate Saliba and Gabriel and take the foot off, at the end of the day, you're probably not going to get that much of a look in with them two. So it all makes sense, man. In my opinion, the squad would benefit from having Calafiori profile at right back. It'd be lovely. I'm done with signing players who can play multiple positions. Like, why, bro? Why not? There's very few players in the modern day that play one position. Obviously, we know there's man that can play everywhere, but really, what are they? There's players that, you know, there might be a striker who can play left wing. You know his strongest positions through the middle, but it's a necessity in their game. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, it's a necessity to you're looking at playing 50-odd games, maybe even 70 in a calendar year or whatever. If you're playing for club and country, you have to be versatile. You have to be versatile. Like, you look through all of the squads in the league, everyone can play a couple of roles. Obviously, you're going to see Saliba and Gabriel play centre half. If you're forcing it, Saliba can play right back. We're not trying to see that. Timber can play across the back four. Calafiori can play, you know, in a couple of roles. Hincapié, the same. Benjamin White, who's the topic of conversation, the same. Lewis-Skelly, the same. You know, Zubamendi even. Declan Rice literally has played all about the place. But even if you want to say 6s and 8s, Odegaard can play in a couple of roles. Kai Havertz and Marino can play in a couple of roles. Not Martinelli on paper, can he? You get where I'm going, innit? You get where I'm going, man. Get Palacera for right back. 2-footed, can even play left back. Any more of a left back? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Only just watching. Get notifications on and subscribe. Appreciate you. Yeah, Mikel needs to stop trying to change everyone's position. I hear it, but then I don't hear it because I think it's a necessity. I do like Diouf at West Ham. If they go down, I wouldn't be against it. Mascara against Burnley at right back. Such is our life, yeah. I don't want to be that guy, but would it surprise you if Mascara got injured against Burnley? God forbid. But we not quite sure why it muted there. But yeah, we've seen stranger things out here, people. We genuinely have seen as well, by the way, each and every time. Probably the only journalist, well, I wouldn't even call him a journalist. The only person that's an ITK thing, whatever you want to call them, that has got the receipts. They're, you know, probably one of the best Arsenal accounts. Him and what's the other one? There was an ex-Arsenal account. Yeah, I don't think he tweets anymore, but I remember the summer we signed Party. He was saying, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I can't remember, but yeah. David Raya has 1-year option extension on his current contract, which has 2 years left, but he needs a fat deal. And even on that, all parties are very relaxed about his long-term future as a pay rise was agreed last summer, as reported by Sammy Mokbel. Between Arsenal and Berta, I know we ain't won a Prem yet, we ain't won a Champions League yet, but this is how, and we know we had to sell and pay off the Emirates and all that, but this is kind of what in fact, this is the carrot we were sold when we moved to the Emirates. Like, being competitive, doing normal things. As much as I don't want to praise a club of the standard of Arsenal, like for having good players, for competing for things, for patterning contracts, all of those kind of things, I've been robbed of it, innit? Like, we came into this season quite bullish. 8 players. We know what we need to do in terms of getting over the line. Not only that, there's been no dramas as well. There's no drama. We've been there, innit? When one of our key players, every game we win or lose, the tabloids write themselves, but what? Saka signed a new deal. Saliba signed one. Gabriel, Wanyeri, Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm missing out some, but you get the point. New players have obviously come in. And then when you look at that, there's also Trossard's been given improved terms. Raya's going to be given improved terms. There's talk about around Declan Rice and Jurien Timber improved terms. Who else is there? It's been a bit radio silency with these players, but Kai Havertz and Odegaard, 2 key members of the side, 2 key members off the field allegedly, 2 key members of Mikel Arteta's tactical setup, whether you or I like it, think we need to evolve or whatever. They're on big money and they've got 2 years left. Not to mention, Eze must be on something nice. and all the new signings. Gyökeres must be on something nice. You still on paper have Ben White. Obviously, it's a spanner in the works now on 100 odd grand a week. You've got Martinelli on ridiculous wages. Gabriel Jesus is still one of our top earners. My point of saying that is to say this: it's a big summer. Do I think we're going to sign 8 players 100%? I don't. But where I'm saying it's big in that, if we get this, regardless, worst case scenario, we don't win the Prem, we don't win the champs. Best case scenario, we win one of the two, if not both. When you reach that mountain peak, it's not time to take your foot off the gas, How many of us have played Football Manager? You win some silverware, you don't feel to sell certain players or do certain things. The next season starts, you collapse. You get it? Everything has to evolve. Our players, the tactics, difficult. There might have to be some unpopular decisions because Arteta's going to have to go to war with himself. You're going to have to rebuild that right-hand side. You're going to have to make Timber and Saka, obviously, when both are fit, to the same standard of what we've seen with Ben White and Saka in all aspects. If Odegaard isn't there, who pulls out to the right, or Kai who pulls out to the right, how are we evolving with that? You get where I'm going? So it's a massive summer, not to mention outgoings, because I don't think it's going to affect us, but it is. I can't blame the Cronkies if they're sitting there self-financing and saying, yo, the wage bill, man, got to get hold of this. Don't get twanged by the media when they say Arsenal need to sell to buy. We don't need to sell to buy because these same individuals sit there and tell you we're in a healthy financial position. Now, if I take the road of two truths can be true, that just tells me that A, we're not under no financial issues, but internally, we used to be decent at selling. We're not decent at selling. We're not really getting too much bang for our buck. We're not getting random young players that if they don't make it, we've signed man for 3 million. They're sold for 30 odd million. Haaland for every Max Dowman, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Wanyeri, all of these, Marley Salmon, all these guys. There needs to be some Nketiah, some Smith Rowe, some Iwobi, some Joe Willox, guys that get sold, go have decent careers, put that in the pockets of our wallet in it, essentially. So there's a lot to do, not to mention Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira is still here. We know he's technically got some money in from the Kivior deal, but we've already spent without really getting into the transfer stuff. We've already spent 40-50 million for the 2026-27 season because we did the IOU thing with Nketiah, right? Yo, allow us this year. We got you next year, bro. Just send me your details. So there's that. And I do agree with hand of Arsenal. For me at Arsenal, David Raya, Saliba, Declan Rice probably are three in with a player of the year shout. Raya's not going to get it. I know he's been a hero for us all the time. And, his name is ringing bells owing to the West Ham game, but the goalies don't really get in it. It's all the glory, whether it's Ballon d'Ors and World Player and highlights. It goes to the attackers, isn't it? And that's just the nature of the game. That's the nature of the game. Fundamentally, the goal scorers and the Mavericks tend to be the attackers, isn't it? They're the ones that get bums on seats generally. He's also spoken about Merino. As reported, Merino has begun training on the grass. You're scoring a header against Paris. Last I heard was he's doing some sprint and conditioning work. That's a step in the right direction. The club are being very cautious and he must hit his rehab milestones before ball work. Positive signs. As of yesterday, and obviously 24 hours from now we want to know a bit more about Tim, but owing to what we saw with Ben White. And before I read this, people, it's weird, because you would have seen a YouTube short from me or a TikTok or whatever, where I said, if I was just talking about Benjamin White, I think it's got when he got injured against West Ham, that's the backdrop in it. I just said, if that's the last ball you kick for the football club, big up yourself. And it just, within the next few hours, you're seeing the Athletic, everybody speaking about such people. So yeah, on Jurrien Timber, as of yesterday, Jurrien Timber has not been ruled out of a return. He had some setbacks during March/April and felt growing discomfort. Jurrien was seen accompanying Heinzer in the pre-game training drills on the pitch yesterday. Made me sad seeing the Sky Sports camera pan towards Timber and he's not playing any part, man. Jarring. Now, he didn't play in the League Cup final. He didn't play in our semi-finals. One day we'll get a hold on these injuries, innit? Because that's been one consistency. And to be honest, all we can do, I don't know how we get a hold on injuries, because let me just say this, people. There's three sides to it. The players, how they look after themselves, because these players do want to play. If they know 99.9% that they're fit, but there's that other percentage when the gaffer's saying, are you okay? You're passing the test, that you feel some discomfort. You've got to be cruel to yourself to be kind, because these players tend to always kind of get fit sooner rather than later. They kind of break down again, just like with Kai Havertz. There's obviously, again, it's all above my pay grade, but there's obviously something, whether it's training, whether it's rehab, whether it's the minutes played, there's something at this football club that needs to be reviewed and changed, because last year this happened. This year, we've had injuries from August. This year it's happened. The year before it happened. You get where I'm going. And also there's the reality of the situation. The footballing gods are not going to save us. The people that manage football, the TV rights and all of the people, they don't care. How many times do they show you they don't care? They don't care about fans. They don't care about players, which is why I always say, obviously fans are not going to get the money, but the players, when I look at clubs, owners, players and everyone else and the fat cat executives, footballers deserve all the money because they're getting pennies, really. You're not paying someone from a business point of view 300 grand if that's not essentially pennies on their pounds. And if every footballer in every division of every team said we're not playing, I don't know, maybe we're going to have to just watch Pop the Balloon for Bants here, people. I don't know what we're doing there. But the reality is, you look at the Burnley game, going off with the fans comment I made. Arsenal, obviously, we hope Crystal Palace beat City. If we were to beat Burnley, that's our first Premier League of the Emirates era, first in 20-odd years. It's on a Monday. Spare a thought for the Burnley fans who are travelling, their last couple games in the Premier League. It's on a Monday. Because we need to play on a Monday, apparently, really and truly, which we easily could have played this week. Let's have it right. I'm actually getting Arsenal withdrawal symptoms, especially when we're winning. We could have easily played on Saturday, on Sunday. So my point being this, the games are only increasing. You're seeing it at the World Cup. You're seeing it at every club competition possible. Everything's expanded and it's going to happen. There's more international friendlies than ever. There's that Nations League. They don't care. So unfortunately, we have to all accept the reality that if you are players like Declan Rice and Saka and Foden and Bruno Fernandes and them obviously I could say more, them kind of household names, you're looking at 50 games for your club, probably another 20 for your country. So that's 70 games. They don't care. They're going to run these men into the ground, bro. And the biggest twang is as well, pre-season is no rest. They might get a week or so or whatever. If anything, it just allows them to switch off mentally, which we can't underestimate how big that is, innit? Like, if anything, they get to rest off mentally because half of these players, they're going to jet off with their family and the missus and the little kids. There might be if anything, I don't even think they'll switch off for a day. There might be a little day they take their kids Disneyland, they spend quality time with the missus, but in the back of their mind, when they're eating food, how much fat is on that, this and that. Because once you're going for pre-season and there's weight tests and things, you're in trouble. And pre-season is one of the worst times to be behind. It takes you, on the best of days, about 10 or so games when the Premier League starts to get into full flow. I remember Declan Rice, either last season or the season before, saying he arrived kind of not in the best condition. And I remember the first kind of not half of the season, but the first couple of games, we were saying, what's going on with Declan? It took him a while to get there. Plus, half of these footballers, they're getting PTs, they're doing shooting drills, they're doing everything. There's no rest. And I know people will say that, but they get paid a lot of money. Yes, they do. Let's not be dense here, people. So, yeah, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know your thoughts. So, yeah, that's good with Timber. The Dutchman will make one last final push to see if he can make a highly anticipated return for the Arsenal. Arteta is leading a push to improve the general health and fitness of the squad. The Haaland Academy overhaul is being overseen by Andrea Alberta and Maurizio Micheli. The grand aim is that it lends into supporting the first team and increase player trading, be it loans or sales. 3 finals to go. Arsenal Nation lock in. Big up our journalist, Hand of Arsenal, and I think he's spitting facts there. Pep Guardiola's on Mind Games. They are so professional. The teams Crystal Palace will play top against us. I'm sure they'll do their best versus Arsenal, knowing they have a Europa Conference League final 3 days later. Mind Games from Pep, man. He was cheering on nonsense. Paul Tierney is the referee for Burnley. As I said when we went into the West Ham game, don't leave it to the refs. Because if I'm honest with you, from a place of love, and we remove the emotion and all of that stuff, Arteta, don't do the mind galaxy thing where Rice is going right back because we lost control. It went against us. Boys, you could have killed the game in the first 10 or so moments. Still, we've done better in this last 4 or 5 so games in the final third. Still missing that cutting edge and more consistency with decision-making. Lost a bit of control with the Benjamin White injury beyond the tactics as well. It all needs to go up because don't think Burnley is a walk in the park. On paper, it should. We've all watched football long enough to know apologies can happen in this thing. And we're so close. We're so close. We're so close. The job is simple. Win your next 2 games. Immortality from a Premier League point of view. Win your next 3 games. Movie. Absolute movie. Can't wait until the Burnley game. City should beat Paris. Palace. Why do I keep saying Paris? They're on my mind. Palace, you're right, in my opinion. Pep is being sarcastic, I'm sure. Mind games, man. Let's bury Burnley in the first half. It'll be tough because they only 1-0 versus City. And they, you know what? They did well against Aston Villa and they've got nothing to lose. If their manager, I know they sacked Scott Parker, if he says, you know what, boys, enjoy it. Because reality is, some of you won't be playing in the Premier League ever again. Some of you will be playing in the Premier League, but it won't be with us. A football career is short. You're playing against a team that's contending. Go and put yourself in the shop window. For the fans that have traveled from wherever the hell Burnley is, respectfully, to London, go and put on a show for them because no one expects you to win. And they will have the whole footballing world doing the hate-along thing. Yeah, I don't know what Jermaine Defoe was talking about, hands not being in a natural position. Like, I mean, he was an ex-West Ham and Spurs player. He's always going to be impartial, isn't he? Like, start asking Abby Summers to be a neutral. Makes sense, doesn't it? Saka has some work to do to get that back. The hate is still hating. What's new? Raya is world class. So are Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, and Saka. All top 5 in their positions. Hit the like button. Arsenal's PR machine